section here. Whew, you guys are going like, hey, can you guys finish up already? All right, we talked about open space, rural character, agriculture. Agriculture is still a big part of what's going on in this county.
My God, we know beef is high.
Yes, we do. Well, you know what? You can. I think you can. Can you shoot squirrels? Yeah, I think you can shoot squirrels.
I saw a skunk last night.
Did you? I saw a fox walking down the road. Except we did have a
in the daytime.
Yeah, early in the morning, but he ran off, so I wasn't worried about him having rabies because I think they did.
If you see him in the daytime, that's not good.
Well, it was in the morning time. I don't know. Maybe he was out on a stroll, but he didn't bother me or my dog.
Yeah, we have great agriculture here, and we're having a lot more what we call farmettes, where people are doing. Look, I got a call. The farmette. Never heard of farmette?
No.
It's like a small produce farm where they're they're doing a variety of things, and they're selling them at the farmers market and to the Chatham.
Plus, they moved the Pittsburgh Farmers Market out here to the right.
That's
right
been great
across
for downtown.
from City Tap.
Yep.
And they also have a little learning garden over there. I walked through that on Sunday.
Yeah. But I had a developer call me out of California that wanted like 100 acres. It was a huge concern to them that it be incredibly level. I was like, this is Chatham County. We don't have a whole lot of level land. If you want level land, you're better off going
east.
south or east, and that's known for level land. But it was hydroponic, and I was like, okay, great. What do you get? California? We don't grow that here. But he was like, no, we do. We specialize in produce and everything. He told me that a head of lettuce, out in the field, in order to grow it takes 35 to 40 gallons of water. But a head of lettuce in one of their greenhouses takes 1 gallon.
Maybe they can set it up in a data center.
Well, yeah, maybe so. I think that's amazing, the difference in the amount of water usage.
Well, isn't pistachios use a lot of water?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Look, we're not experts in agriculture, and we don't pretend to be. And I know there's some farmers watching us going, "You guys don't know what you're talking about."
We don't know.
All right.
I grow hay.
You grow hay?
I grow hay. Yeah, just had our cutting last week.
I'm so happy for you.
Well, hay does not run out into the highway. I live on 421.
Okay.
And we had cattle go onto the highway all the time. They figure a way through the fence, or they break down the fence, and
you got some smart cattle. Is it your cattle or the neighbor's cattle?
It was somebody else's cattle on my property that was leased to them.
Oh, okay.
And it's teenagers, seriously, adolescent juvenile males.
Are they doing the?
They're going to figure out how to get out.
All right.
Yeah.
Are they doing cow tipping at night when the cows are asleep?
We never did cow tipping.
You never did cow tipping?
Nope, but now I grow hay.
Okay. All right. Next on here is, we talked about, is there anything else we need to know about agriculture?
Well, I'd still like to reiterate that I understand we want to preserve the rural integrity of the county. I understand that farms are important to us, but I still believe in property rights. And if the farmer wants to be a farmer, let's incentivize that. I love the deferred property tax incentive that farmers get. I think that's a great program that helps them quite a bit, but doesn't necessarily help them enough. And we really need, the farms need to make money for them to be sustainable. We talk about sustainable agriculture.
I like buying stuff from them versus the stuff in the grocery store. My wife's cousin has a strawberry patch out over in Pimlico County. Best tasting strawberries. And then there's also a small blueberry farm. I'm drawing a blank, and I apologize.
There's one on DeWitt Smith.
Yeah, and
there's some off of 751.
Yeah, they grow a variety of blueberries. So you can actually, I think she's got 6 different varieties of blueberries.
We have some blueberry bushes.
So
very nice.
Just keep the cows away from them.
Yeah, I don't have cows anymore.
Okay. All right. Small town identity. Are we speaking about any specific small towns? I mean, are we talking Goldston? Are we talking Bear Creek?
Goldston. No, I don't know. Bear Creek is a post office. I mean, Bear Creek is one of the biggest, longest, irregular zip codes I've ever seen. Bear Creek goes from Lydia Perry, all the way to Chatham Central. I mean, that's all Bear Creek. Even further.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I live at, my zip code is Bear Creek. Look I got one of these maps up here. Bear Creek's the weirdest looking zip code.
How about Bennett?
Bennett, yeah. I don't know why I'm laughing at Bennett, but
we used to play rec league ball over there when my kids played.
you know why I'm laughing at Bennett?
Why are you laughing at Bennett? You get him in trouble for laughing at Bennett.
Because back in the old days, I used to buy zip codes off of Realtor.com.
Okay.
And Pittsburgh was the most expensive. It was like $700, and then Siler City was like $200, and Bennett they're like, all right, $70, and I'm like, no, I don't want it. They're like, okay, I'll throw it in for 20. I mean, they were like low bid Bennett and everything. They were just trying to throw it in because they couldn't sell it.
Why are you hating on Bennett?
I'm not hating on Bennett. I love Bennett. I've sold a lot of land in Bennett. Bennett's great town, great people. Love Bennett and everything. But I'm laughing is because like Pittsburgh got up to $2,000.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then Siler City got up to like $500 or $600, and then Bonlee was like $800. And I'm like,
what was happening in Bonlee?
well, that's why I was like, what's happening in Bonlee and everything? It goes by population.
Okay.
How many houses for sale, but it also went by how many Google searches they were getting.
Oh, all right.
And Bonlee had a male-only campsite.
Oh.
And so everybody all across the country was...
Wasn't there some nudist camp in Chatham County at one time as well?
I'm not aware. But Bonlee had this, and so Bonlee was getting... I was like, buddy, you're never going to sell Bonlee zip code for that amount of money.
Look, do not send us a query about this club either or this camp. We don't.
It doesn't. Actually, one of my agents sold it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't even know how I can say this.
You don't get this
It had a bunch of barbecue areas. It had a cement area with a bunch of picnic tables, and then it had this ginormous bathroom with a ton of showers.
Okay.
It did.
We're gonna get in trouble.
But it was for camping. It was
No,
for
no.
RVers.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a nudist camp at one time because I remember when that was early days of the internet. When that came out, there was like people like, holy cow.
There was a section of Haw River that was
it?
Yeah, near Saxapaw.
It might have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was also one within Chatham County.
At Jordan Lake.
And that was not a nudist camp. That was actually a nudist spot at Jordan Lake, and it still may be there, but I'm not going to check. All right. How did we land up talking about this stuff? All right, housing.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much touched on that, but you mentioned its identity tension. Beginning $1 million plus homes being sold and built, and the average workforce guys aren't able to find what they need.
Yeah, so that's creating a lot of tension, and we still don't have a lot of townhomes or anything here. So it's weird how the pendulum swings. I mean, during the COVID times, everybody wanted to get out of town, out of the city. They wanted a piece of land and didn't want to be told what to do in an HOA situation. I don't know if it's a generational thing or the pendulum swung back or whatever. Now everybody wants a townhome that's close and convenient to everything, and they don't want any land whatsoever to have to take care of.
Well, didn't you talk about one time a Gen Zer bought a house and wanted to know about how stuff was getting taken care of?
Yeah, they wanted who comes and cleans the gutters? I was like, that'd be you, boss. He did not like to hear that.
Yeah, it might be a generational thing because I never asked that question when I bought my first duplex. That's where I started outing. Jobs.
We need jobs. This is a bedroom community. The majority
of
our people leave to go work elsewhere, leave to spend money elsewhere.
And it's still a large percentage because I remember it used to be really, really large. And it's gotten a little bit better, but not quite.
Yeah. It used to be like all the traffic on 64 was leaving here in the morning, and all the traffic coming into 64 was coming in the afternoon. Now it seems to be busy both ways for sure. But we need it's so disappointing what has happened with VinFast and Wolfspeed. They had so much promise and potential. Hopefully those will bounce back and we'll have a replacement.
Yeah, the funny thing about Wolfspeed is there's still a need for chips, and unfortunately,
Just not electric vehicle chips.
Exactly,
Right.
and that's what they were banking on. And if you read any of the trade publications for automotive stuff, there's less and less companies who are investing as much in EVs as they were
But
originally planning
aerospace and there's a whole lot of other technology.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They do need chips. So I'm surprised that I would think that hopefully another chip manufacturer would be able to go in there, or Wolfspeed.
Yeah, it's
might
already set
decide-
up. It's already set up.
Yeah, it's all set to go. Tax-based growth.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we don't want. There's also some proposed legislation for statewide for there to be some relief on elderly and their property tax. I mean, I remember selling a piece of property of my own a few years ago, and I thought, oh, I'd hit a home run. But when I looked at what I had paid in property tax every year for it, I was just like, I didn't do as well as I thought I had done on it and everything. And what a horrible situation where these people work so hard all their lives to pay off their house. They're in a retirement situation, or even if like a decade or two away from retirement, they're late 70s, early 80s or whatever, and then they can't afford to stay there because of their property tax being too high. That's not.
I think actually I got an article from UNC. I didn't publish it yet because I wanted to reach out to them, but they had a breakdown of, I think the biggest danger and the perception by people that think that it's the most unfair is when there's a reevaluation on what your property's worth, and then your tax rate goes down, but your property taxes go up. And Chatham County was one of the ones that really increased a high bit. And I know there were a lot of folks that are surviving on Social Security, where when they saw their tax bill, like you said, a home that they've lived in for their lifetime go up as much as they're like, where am I going to get this money from?
Right.
And look, if you're offended by what I just said, that's the reality of folks. When that last reevaluation came out last year, the county could have chosen to go neutral.
Right. Like nobody cares what their rate is, and nobody really cares what they're valued at. They care about what their bill is at.
Exactly.
I mean, and every time we get these reevaluations, my phone rings off the hook, and people are mad and angry. They're like, "Can you believe, Eric? I went from 2,000 to 400." And I'm like, well, "I'll give you 400 for it." And they're like, "It's worth twice that." I mean, everybody wants it both ways, but like at the end of the day, yeah, why it doesn't matter what the valuation. And really, they do a phenomenal job on the valuation. There's just so much data. It used to be inaccurate. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. When I first started doing it, they were all over the place. And I don't know where they get, those were PFA numbers and pulled from air. And, there's so much better now. I mean,
I think
really
we talked about that the last several times, is the fact
Yeah.
that for the most part they come in close. And if you feel that it's not wrong.
Appeal it.
And actually, we did appeal, and we had a county employee come out and take a look at it, and they're like, yeah, we didn't have all the correct information, so they fixed that.
Yeah, bad data in, bad data out. But I think they do a pretty good job overall. But yeah, I'd be more concerned about the rate and what I'm paying.
Yep. I think that's where it took a lot of folks that are on limited income just go.
And also, we need to look at what we're paying compared to the rest of the country. I mean, my brother and I at one time real strongly considered buying something in upstate New York where we're from. We're like, let's just get a summer house in the Adirondacks. We love the Adirondacks, so I'm sure we'll use it. Let's get something and everything. And we looked at the price, and the prices weren't bad. $275,000. I'm like, okay, if we go in halvesies, we might be able to do this. But the property tax was so high that it convinced us to not do it.
Yeah, I believe that.
So we're a little bit spoiled, but I work at this is a Realty World franchise. Okay, one of the things I love about Realty World is we have very, very low fees. One of the things I don't like about Realty World is they're not doing a whole lot of national advertising for us, or we don't have a lot of. So you get what you paid for. Well, our taxes are much lower here compared to the rest of the country. We don't. I mean, I take my garbage to the dump. Nobody comes and picks up my garbage.
You know what? I still take my garbage to the dump too.
Yeah.
I got that little triangle sticker in my car.
Right. But I'm saying that we don't have as much of the goods and services that other places have.
I don't mind taking the garbage.
I don't
to
mind.
the dump.
I don't mind.
It gets me out of the house.
I don't mind.
And if I don't take it, my wife reminds me about it. All right, infrastructure investment. What do we got on that?
Oh, I don't even know what that means. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we've talked about the VinFast uncertainty. We've talked about the Wolfspeed uncertainty. We've talked about Tri-River creating.
All right, let's talk about the VinFast. You and I, before we start recording, touched on this. I personally feel that spot is gonna get filled. I mean, you got the lawsuit
It
going
checks
right
way
now.
too many boxes.
We
talked about eminent domain earlier. All the highways and the roads are already fixed out as far as eminent.
People
domain
are
is
upset
concerned.
that the church got torn down.
Yeah, I did not want that. That's not me. I didn't do that.
I didn't say you did,
But my point is that these things are a rare gem. A Megasite is an incredibly rare thing. There's so much that has to happen.
and it's in a good spot.
It's in a
relative to
phenomenal
getting
spot.
stuff in and out.
Yeah. And
There's other businesses like that. I ran into somebody. There's a sidewall manufacturing facility, drywall manufacturing facility out there as well in Mount Q.
There's plywood. There's brick.
Yep.
There's nuclear. There's coal ash. There's FedEx. There's a lot happening out there.
Is Coke planning to go put their distribution center there, or they?
Coke
Durham Coca-Cola was planning.
They went to 751.
Oh, they went 751.
Yeah.
Did they open that place up yet?
Yeah, it's Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay, Dr. Pepper.
It's right there. It's right there at the corner of 751 and 64.
All right. Maybe I'll go talk to them.
Yeah, you could be a pepper.
There's young people watching this. I have
They
no
don't-
idea
no
what that
idea.
means.
They did jingles on the radio station this morning, and like they did Oscar Mayer and Nair and Have You Driven a Ford Lately? And these poor kids, they were like mid-20s and mid-30s, and they had no idea they didn't even know what a jingle was, but they couldn't. I mean, it's plop plop fizz fizz. They could not figure it out.
Well, I know someone's gonna post something about this, but I ran into a young gentleman who was going out with an older woman. I said, "Oh, she or Mrs. Robinson?" He goes, "What?" I'm like, "Ooh."
Didn't even know it. He wasn't old enough to know that reference.
No, he wasn't. So
Was she?
I'm not gonna say anymore because I'm definitely gonna get in trouble.
Sure.
No, we're not going there. All right. We talked about the Moncure area. It's set up for it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and I think they had a pretty good contract, and it looks like the state is going to be able to get that property back because
They haven't met their conditions.
VinFast did not meet the conditions, or whatever. From what I've heard, VinFast is fighting it. They're saying that they've altered their plan, but they still plan on moving forward.
Well, don't you get the sense, and again, not being an attorney, don't you get the sense that they're doing that so they don't have to give back some of the
Right, yeah.
monies that
Sure.
they got from the state?
Right, yeah.
The interesting
Yeah.
thing about VinFast, if you look in the industry, auto industry information out there, they don't have the best reliable products, and they don't have the products that meet the needs of folks in North America.
Needing and wanting, and I have to buy a car. I mean, my car is 10 years old now, and it's not doing all that well. But for the last 4 years, I've been looking to buy a car, and right now, the 2007s are coming out, so I'm waiting for the 2007s to come out. But by the time I make a decision, I'm waiting for the 2028s to come out. But
they're going to monitor all your movement, and so if you get into a car,
yeah.
if you get a 226, you can still drive around.
But I'm such a Consumer Reports guy and everything.
Okay.
And I just got this month's of Consumer Reports, and all the cars I like are horribly related. They're like, do not buy this. The only one that says I can buy is a Outback Subaru, and
I don't see you driving around Outback. So
Well,
why don't you get a Honda Ridgeline? It's a
because I sell land. because I'm a guy. That's why I can't get out.
Oh, you're making fun of my Honda Ridgeline? No, it's okay.
I'm kidding.
It's okay.
I'm kidding, but my point is like it doesn't seem like any of them are reliable.
Yeah, where are you going to park the 250 in front of your store? You don't have enough room in those spaces to park a 250. You're going to have to park behind the building. You probably would get a 250.
I have the 250.
Yeah, see, there you go. I told my wife I was going to get that. She goes, "No, you're not." And I go, "You're right, I'm not."
That's the work truck, though.
Get a Toyota Tundra.
Consumer Reports doesn't like that. It's an undersized 4-banger.
Oh, they don't have. They did away with the 6-cylinder one.
I guess.
Because I had the SUV and I loved that. I think I got almost 300,000 on it before I had to sell it.
I was going to go with the 4Runner or the Land Cruiser, and they got low reliability ratings and an underpowered engine.
Yeah, because I remember Land Cruiser at one time was like the vehicle that sold all over the
Yeah.
world. I mean,
Yeah.
you would see those things in the deserts of Africa. Yeah. All right, we are going way offline here.
Right.
Okay, manufacturing recruitment. Is that really a concern, or is that it's basically? Let me ask you this. One of the things we've talked about previously is the fact that with Disney coming here, there's a lot of people that have reached out to you and expressed interest in also developing other properties here in the county. If that VinFast property lands up going to somebody big, do you see that being a big effect on other
we don't have it. We don't. We need to revamp our community colleges and teach that kind of so we have a workforce that's prepared for that kind of facility, whatever. But that hydroponic potential buyer I was telling you about, he's like, yeah, Eric, not only did Richmond County work out better for us because it's more level, but also they have an abundance of available workforce, and we don't have that here. So yeah, I do think it makes a difference. And like Randolph County is doing a good job with that. They actually have manufacturing classes at their community colleges, but we don't.
Well, I know CCCCC was planning to, and they had a press conference on the things they were planning to have to meet
for VinFast.
For VinFast.
Okay, good.
In their campus down in Lee County, and they had it all drawn up, and it just hasn't come through fruition because I'm not going to train somebody if the job's not there to be had. Right. So I think they're very receptive. I know the president of CCCC. She's, you know what? Tell me what you need, and we'll develop something for it. So I know they're really receptive to it. They had everything planned out for WinFast. It just didn't work out.
Good.
And I mean, they worked on getting the medical sciences building up the road as well. So cool. I think once that happens. All right. Anything else as we close this up?
I do think that a lot of people still talk about doom and gloom. I don't think we're in a 2007, 2008, 2009 situation where we're going to have some kind of real estate crash. But I think it's unrealistic for us to continue to believe that we'll have the appreciation that we had during COVID-22.
I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, real estate is not my specialty, but I would tend to.
I think this area still checks a lot of boxes, and we're very, very lucky. I don't think there are some other areas of the country, but the Raleigh area is one of the top 7 markets in the country right now.
Well, it keeps getting rated high by all the different business publications because like you said, you got a ready workforce. It's in a good spot on the East Coast. It's easy to get in and out.
Good medical, good sports, good schools. And
I know on the Raleigh side, they're pushing. The Raleigh folks are pushing to get a pro baseball team down there. And it's funny because the folks in Charlotte are going, what, Raleigh baseball team?
Right.
But apparently the players who want baseball in Raleigh are a lot more serious and are willing to put up the money compared to the folks in Charlotte.
Right.
I mean, Charlotte's got to worry about the Panthers and everything else, and people safely getting on their transit system.
Yeah, the Hurricanes haven't hurt at all.
No, did you see that video of? I mean, they're playing in Vegas, and you got Lenovo Center packed with people.
Yeah.
And apparently that wasn't the only place that had spectators parties. I think they had them in other areas here in the county. And I remember when they first rolled into town.
Oh, no.
They couldn't give seats away,
Right.
and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Although I did recommend they give seats away, they're like, no, we can't. I'm like, you got to get people to know the sport. So, all right.
Yep.
We will probably be back for next quarter.
Next quarter.
If you want, feel free to let us know what you want. I know there have been people that have done that. You can either put in the comment section below. Then we'll have a couple stories out on the Chatham Journal website. And feel free to leave comments on the YouTube channel. We'll also post on our Facebook page. And if they want to reach you directly, what's the best way? Give them your phone number and your
919-542-0523.
All right. The other thing is we were talking about what young people can't do. Show me your watch.
What about that? I'll read a watch.
They can't read an analog watch. And when I
My Apple is an analog.
well, that's an analog design.
I know.
And actually, I saw a younger person with a watch.
You have yours on digital?
I know.
Oh, no, you have it too.
I go in, but I saw a younger person, probably early 20s, and they were all digital. So,
Cool.
yeah, we're turning into our parents.
Well, I appreciate you doing this.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll be back in the next quarter.